What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to my Pokemon trading card game online Let's Play series for the player versus player online matches. So this is a friend battle up against Scoobydoo7057. So I'm trying out my new Fire Monotype deck, which includes a few EX cards that someone suggested I should do, but ironically, just before reading that comment, I did have to scrap this deck up from nothing. So I have no idea how this is going to go, so let's just go with the flow and see how it all works. So he's going to go leading with his Minfu and as he's active, and a Skitty on his bench plays an Energy Search as his first card, which allows him to draw a fighting card from his deck and plays that on his Minfu. And since it's the first turn, he is unable to attack, so that should be the end of his turn. Yes, it is. And we lead on to my turn. I play a Fire Energy card there on Fennekin from my hand. I then play a Level Ball, which I'm then going to use to... Yes, it's there! I'm going to use it on my Braskin. So, not this turn, but the turn after, I shall evolve Fennekin into Braskin, and the turn after that, I shall get my Delphox if nothing goes wrong. So with that, I'm just going to jump to my attack and deal 20 damage there to Minfu using Will-O-Wisp. Alright, so from there, it's his turn, and he's going to play a Giant Cape on his Minfu, raising its health from 60 to 80, thanks to Giant Cape's effect, allowing it to raise any Pokemon's health by 20. So he's going to go straight for the attack, so that should be triple smack, which means he flips 3 coins, and depending on the heads is how much damage it does. So 2 heads equals 20 damage dealt to Fennekin. So that's alright. I drew a Magma there, so that's going to go straight onto my bench. I'm then going to use my Braskin from my hand, evolve my active Fennekin, and then follow it up with a Silent Trainer card, which allows me to draw 3 energy cards from my deck into my hand. So I'll grab 3 Fire Energy cards there, whack them straight into my hand, and from there I'm going to use one of those straight onto my active Braskin. I'm then going to follow it up with Clairvoyant Eye, which allows me to see the top 3 cards in my deck. I'm going to shuffle into my own order, so Rocky Helmet, Team Flare Grunt, and Silent will be the order that I'm putting them in. So it's his turn now, and he is going to play a Fighting Energy card on his bench Skitty, and from there flip his coins again, so 1 head, 2 head, don't flip another one. No, flip another one, sorry. Frick! I fricked it up, didn't I? I was supposed to say don't flip a head, but he flipped one. Oh well. 10 damage there to Braskin. So from there I drew a Rocky Helmet, played that on my active Braskin. I'm then going to evolve it into a Delphox straight from my hand and play another Fire Energy card from my hand to the active Delphox. Then follow it up with my Shauna from my hand, which allows me to shuffle my hand into my deck and draw 5 cards. So I'm going to play Blaze Ball straight from Delphox. 50 plus damage, extra 20 for each Fire Energy card on Delphox, and that's going to deal 110 damage, knocking out the Minfu. And with that I get well, that's interesting, a Fire Energy card from Prize Pool. Yay! So he's going to play a Giant Cape on his Skitty, raising itself from 50 to 70. So this is definitely probably one of those standard theme decks that the game gives you. They can be quite good if you can draw the cards straight away, which isn't easy to do. He's going to use Tail Swap on Skitty. At the same time, he did bench a Drillbur there, which is good because he needed that to stay into the game. Put a Fire Energy card on Magma. Play a Share and draw 3 cards. I drew Fennekin and Liquid, which goes straight to my bench. Blaze Ball again there on Skitty, absolutely burning this thing. Wow! Alright, so that's knocked out as well, which means not a prize card for me. And I get a Sharon card, so that's going to be handy. I've got plenty of Fire Energy cards and nothing to do with them either. Ooh, so I drew a Magmortar there, so I'm going to evolve the bench Magma into Magmortar, play a Fire Energy card onto my Delphox just to really just troll and power up Blaze Ball. Play my Sharon card and drew a Level Ball, so I'm going to search my deck. And I want a Lampert. I want to evolve Litwick in the Lampert, even though it's not really going to make much of a difference at this time of game. And wait, where is Lampert? Oh, don't tell me it's in my prize pool. Seriously, what are the chances of that? That's... oh, wow. You draw your hand first, then you do prize. Damn it, that's really unlucky. So, yeah, I'm probably just going to go with Litwick here. You know, like I said, it really doesn't matter what I go for, so I'm going to bench that Litwick and go straight for Blaze Ball and make this GG with 130 damage there, thanks to an extra Fire Energy card there placed on Delphox. And my last card was Entei EX, go figure. I didn't get a chance to play in my EX cards. So yes, hope you guys enjoyed that battle, and stay tuned for the deck analysis for this deck. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little battle. Sorry about the post commentary there. I did play that battle while I couldn't narrate the battle, unfortunately, so it's not my usual live commentary. So if the narration sucked, I'm so sorry. But obviously you can tell I'm a little bit better with live commentary, plus you get to hear my proper thoughts and all my thought processes while I get to play my cards and all that. But regardless, as I mentioned, this the deck that I used in that battle is my brand spanking, well, one of the new brand spanking new decks that I've made recently. Someone actually commented on YouTube that I should try out some EX cards, even though I don't particularly like them. Well, the irony was, just before I read that comment, I think the night before I actually made this deck using a few EX cards. I actually got inspired after reading one. I'm like, oh, I might try a deck, see if it works. So yes, the desk of, sorry, I'll try that sentence again. I can't talk at the moment. Hopefully my voice sounds a little bit better than the last narration that I did. I narrated a whole bunch of X and Y openings with a cold. I'm nearly over the cold, thank God, but my throat still is a bit stuffy, unfortunately, so if I still sound a bit stuffy, I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit partially sick, so we'll work around it. But regardless, the deck does consist of a few EX cards this time. There's only 3 EX cards in this one, in comparison to my other deck having a few as well. I am trying out a few new things as well, which is good. So yes, this is a monotype fire deck, obviously, as we can tell from that battle. Also, just another note of notice here, the deck that I'm showing now, it's changed a little bit since that battle. After that battle, I actually had another few mock battles with it, and I kind of still didn't like the deck, so I modified it a little bit just before this recording, so it's slightly a bit different from what you just saw, but the whole general idea is still there. Alright, so anyways, we'll have a look at the Pokemon behind it. There is 13 Pokemon in this deck, 29 trainer cards and 18 energy cards as of yet. I still haven't given my full approval on this deck yet. It's still being modified. The recent modification to it I'm a little bit happier with than the last time I used it, which was that battle. So in this deck I have Entei EX, so I'll explain the whole thing behind it later. It's got Fennekin, it's got Braskin, and of course it's got Delphox, the whole trio there. I did say in my openings I wanted to use Delphox, so I'm using one because Delphox is awesome, and indeed it is. I freaking love it. We've also got Heatran EX. I'm actually thinking about taking him out. I don't particularly like him in my deck. He actually has no role in this deck really, just as more of a powerhouse, but even then there's cards that hit a lot harder than it. So I'm thinking about taking him out a bit later. We've got a Litwick, we've got a Lampert, and just so I can play Chandelure, I actually based my deck around Chandelure at the start of this whole card building process, which was kind of interesting, and what it turned out in the end was pretty cool actually. The last 2 remaining Pokemons is Victini. I haven't tested the deck since upon putting this card into the deck, so don't really know how this deck's going to roll with it in it. So I guess it's kind of a wait and see. I'm hoping it works because I only put it in there for the moves collect as more of a supporty card right at the start. Hopefully I can draw another card that I can back up with straight away. That's the only reason why I put it in there. And final card is Victini EX, and again it's more of a supporty card rather than a hard hitting card. Okay, so the whole general gist behind the Pokemon is the 3 main Reliant supporters is Chandelure, which, as I said, I based the deck around, mainly because of its ability, Flare Navigate. This ability works both as active and bench Pokemon, so the ability is once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a fire energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. If you do, put 1 damage counter on that Pokemon, shuffle your deck afterwards. So having this as your bench support, it kind of works the same way as my Blissey in my Darkness deck, just mainly a support rather than a hitter, but it is a good sweeper as well. A lot more attacky-like card because of Absorb Life, deals 70 damage, and he heals 30 out of it as well, so it's got good sustainability as well, plus good support. That's my main reason why. Another good card to work alongside with it is Victini EX. It needs to be active though, so if I have this as active, Chandelua's bench, then really it kind of gets very overwhelming for the opponent, because I can just use Turbo Energize, search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like, shuffle your deck afterwards. So I can just grab 2 basic energy cards, whack them onto my bench, then use my Chandelua's ability, then grab another Fire Energy card and whack them onto a Pokemon of my choice. So it doesn't have to be a bench Pokemon, it can also be the active Pokemon as well. That's kind of the limit to Victini though, it's a benched Pokemon only, not my active. And the other Pokemon as well that's kind of supporty is Entei. So it not only is a hard hitter with Grand Flame, but it also has the ability to attach a Fire Energy from one of your from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. This is actually pretty handy for retreats. For example, if I started with the normal Victini, for example, or even Victini EX, if I start with one of those 2, put up energy cards so I can use its move, even to have 2 or I think 3 for this one to attack. When they get knocked out, their energy cards obviously go to the discard pile. I can then bring out Entei later on, or even after that if I'm lucky enough, use Grand Flame, grab an energy card from the discard pile that's been discarded from those Pokemon and attach them to my bench Pokemon. So if I had that as active afterwards along with Chandelure, then I'd be getting energy cards out, something shocking. Now the reason why I need this ability is for Delphox, as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I slightly covered it. Blaze Ball, which deals 50 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each Fire Energy card attached to this Pokemon. So obviously the more Fire Energy you have on Delphox, the more I really can't talk tonight, it's terrible. The more damage you're going to do to your opponent. So if you can stack up a whole bunch of Fire Energy onto Delphox while it's on bench and then drag it out after a knockout, then you'll be dealing over 200 damage if you're lucky, or just some amazing amount of damage, and it'll one-shot everything. Even a Mega doesn't stand a chance, and Megas have about 220 health. Not much can live it. So there's Chandelure, as I said, mostly for support rather than sweeping if needed. Delphox is my main hitter along with Entei, and as I said, Heatran at the moment it's just my hitter, but that's about it. It's got no other role in this deck, and it may be getting taken out a bit later. The only reason why it's in it at the moment is because the lack of basics. There is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's it, 6 basic cards in this deck. Then again, you want about 6 basics, maybe a little bit more if you want to be able to draw things a bit quicker. Alright, so enough with that, let's move on to training cards. Probably the most common training cards. They're very similar to my Darkness deck as well, with the exception of a few. We've got Evosoda in this one, so I picked this up from the X and Y series and thought it might be pretty handy. Search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it on that Pokemon. This counts as evolving that Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterwards. You cannot use this card during your first turn or a Pokemon that's just been put to play this turn. That's actually come in handy quite a few times. It's like Quit's evolution. If, let's say I had a Fennekin on the field and I wanted to evolve it into Braskin, and I didn't have the Braskin in my hand, and I had Delphox in my hand, for example, I can just use Evosoda if I got it, get Braskin in that turn, then evolve it into Delphox the next turn. Same thing as Lickwick, evolve into Lampert with Evosoda, and if I've got Chandelure in my hand, just evolve into Chandelure the next turn. That's its main purpose for Evosoda. Level Ball is pretty handy in this deck. I can either grab it to grab a basic like Fennekin or Litwick, or I don't think Victini fixes criteria, unfortunately. Oh, it does, sorry. I can grab Victini, I can't grab the EX one, unfortunately. I'm still putting it at normal Victini into strategy at the moment. But yeah, I can use it to search for them, put them into play if I need it. It also works on Lampert and Braskin as well, so I can use it kind of almost like the Pokeball card from a Darkness deck, but no flip of the coin. The criteria is a Pokemon of 90 health or less, and reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So it's just mainly there to grab cards quickly out of my deck and to get them onto the bench a lot quicker. That's its only purpose, but a little bit more reliable than the Pokeball. Obviously I've got 4 potions in my deck. I've got Sharon in my deck to be able to draw cards, 3 cards. Silent to grab basic energy cards. I've only got 2 of them in this deck because of the huge energy support already on the Pokemon already, so I can grab energy cards quite quickly. I got Shana this time, which allows me to shuffle my hand into my deck and draw 5 cards, very similar to N. Team Flare Grunt. I'm actually giving this a bit of a whirl because it's quite handy. Discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now in some cases, a person may be able to play a Plasma Energy, a Rainbow Energy, or even double Colorless Energy, which can be a bitch. This allows it to discard any energy card, regardless of it being basic or a special, and usually that can turn a game around or stop a Pokemon from attacking the next turn. So, it's kind of a throw-off thing. It has changed the game in a lot of cases for me. Pokemon Center, this is mainly here to negate Chandelure's secondary effect for Flare Navigate. Once during your player's turn, you may heal 20 damage from one of your his or her benched Pokemon. I usually use Flare Navigate on a benched Pokemon, so after I do that, I can use Pokemon Center and just heal them off afterwards. So Pokemon Center works really well in this deck for that reason. Now I'm using one of these, and I didn't realise this was actually a special card called A-Specs. Now you can have only one A-Specs card in your deck for a reason. I've got Rock Guard, so this is more like a more OP version of Rocky Helmet. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is active and damaged by an opponent's attack, even the Pokemon's knocked out, put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. That's 60 health gone from the attacking Pokemon. That hurts. So, as I said, it's more OP Rocky Helmet. So, I usually just put it there if I'm desperate to get some damage. I know they're going to be landing quite a lot of hits. So, yeah, I put that in to replace one of the Rocky Helmets that I had. So, I've got 3 of these still. Very similar, again, to Darkness deck. Obviously, no Everlights because I don't rely on any basic Pokemon. It could be handy for, like, the EX cards, but still pretty a waste of card space. And of course the only energy cards I've got in this deck is fire energy cards. Okay, so really that's it for this video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed that battle, and again, I'm so sorry for the crap narration. The next battle will definitely be live commentary. I'll try to get on my battles as live commentary from now on, because it is a big pain in the ass to do afterwards as well, trying to narrate it again and figure out why the hell I made the plays that I did. Yeah, so next episode, maybe another PvP, or maybe going back to card openings. Not too sure, but hopefully it's another PvP. That'd be great, because I've got another deck to show off as well. I may even show this deck off for a little bit longer as well, just to show it, the new deck in play as well. But that would probably be sweet as well, because I haven't seen it in play yet. So anyways, this is LadyKrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!